Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 54 of Unboxing Wednesdays for books arriving in stores on Wednesday, November 9th, 2011. We've got a special guest here today on Unboxing Wednesdays, but we'll get to that person a little bit later. But for now, I'm going to ask Rob to go ahead and open up some boxes. First up today, we've got something that can help out your fellow nerd over the winter. And you might have seen our Green Lantern and Flash winter hats a little while ago in past episodes. And today we've got this Batman one, but it's a little weird. It kind of doesn't look that great or as interesting as the Flash and Green Lantern ones. But I'll let you out there in the internet be the judge. Now, I don't know. Kind of look like Frank Miller Batman. We've also got some cool posters that are now available to order. First is this Avenging Spider-Man poster, which we have the corresponding issue number 1 coming out today. And here is a really awesome Venom poster. Anything Venom sells really well in our store, and I'm sure it's the same across the board at all other comic shops. Imagine having that up on your wall. That'll scare your mom, I think, if she walks into your room. We've got these posters in stock here at Stadium. Your local comic shop might have them too, but they are available for order if they don't have them in. Alright, we've got some new trade paperbacks, graphic novels, and hardcovers to show you. First up, we've got some new printings of Road to Perdition in the Vertigo Crime format. This is Road to Perdition Volume 1. Here's the second part, which is On the Road to Perdition. And then new from Vertigo Crime today is Return to Perdition. Road to Perdition was adapted into a critically acclaimed movie starring Tom Hanks and Paul Newman. From IDW Comics, we have Godzilla, Gangsters, and Goliaths. The Boys Volume 9 pays tribute to The Dark Knight Returns. New in softcover is Batman Streets of Gotham, Leviathan. Also new in softcover is Amazing Spider-Man, Matters of Life and Death. And just in time for the announcement that DC Universe Online is free to play, we've got the first volume of DC Universe Online Legends. Alright, we're going to get to the indie and small publisher books, but I figured before we get to that, why not introduce the special guest that we have tonight? And that is Toronto freelance artist extraordinaire, Mr. Marvin Law. How you doing tonight?
I'm good.
Awesome. For those of you who don't know Marvin has been working in the Toronto area as a freelance artist for some time. Marvin is a fixture at conventions, both here in Canada and internationally too. You've been to a few international conventions.
True.
We're very happy to have Marvin here today. Marvin,
Glad to be here. Yeah.
Why don't you tell them what you've been working on lately?
I'm working for a new publisher called New Myth Comics, actually coming out of Oklahoma, doing a new book there. One of them is Salted Ignite. It'll be coming out soon. And I'm working on 2 new other projects called, one is called Hotheads, and the other one is Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Is it like a
bit religious?
It's a bit religious. I don't take you as a religious person. Just from knowing you, you're not.
I am not, good sir. I'm not religious, but they pay well.
But anything for $1, right?
They pay well, and we get along, so it works out in the end.
I'll just state right now that any opinions that Mr. Law here expresses during the course of this Unboxing Wednesday are strictly his own and not those of Stadium Comics. Because
but you wrote my lines for me.
No. Shh, don't tell them that. Don't tell them
But
that.
you have your hand up like Yoda.
No.
It's horrible, sir.
That's actually Rob's hand. That's why you don't see Rob right now.
Dates are going to mirroring that.
How do you feel about maybe showing off some of the indie books?
Of course. First up, we have the great crossover from IDW, Star Trek and Legion of Superheroes, which actually is one of the few crossovers that actually makes sense because given the time frame that the Legion of Superheroes exists in the 30th century and Star Trek exists in the future, it actually makes sense for them to actually meet each other in this context. Baltimore, The Cursed Bells from Meg Mignola, one of my personal favorite artists of all time. Even though he only did the cover, he wrote it. But it's also great work. It's beautiful stuff. It's very fun. If you love vampires, this is what you want to get. Check out. Next, we have The Unwritten. Okay, from Archie Comics, we have Mega Man. Also a very fun comic book. Which shows how much Rob loves Archie and Mega Man. Another offering from IDW is, if for all you D&D fans, is The Legend of Drizzt. Dynamite with their Red Sonja book. Excellent as well. Good read. For all of you Rage Against the Machine fans, this comic book is new. It's called Orchid. It's the 2nd issue, written by Tom Morello, one of the guitarists from the band. Be sure to check it out. From Dark Horse Comics, we have the long-running series of Dollhouse, which Fox killed. Again, another Strauss Media project. Good job, Fox. You suck. For all you Joss Whedon fans again, here's Buffy I think season 9 now, is it?
Yeah.
Season 9, because we all know how much you fans are missing your Buffy. There's more Joss goodness out there.
Marvin, let me ask you a question. If you could choose between Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Eliza Dushku as either Faith or her character in Dollhouse, who would you choose? Who would be your lady of choice?
Sir, hands down, that is Dushku.
Oh, really? And reasons for that?
I don't dig blondes.
Okay.
And Buffy's boring. From Top Cow Productions, Witchblade, guest starring The Angelus. Another quality Top Cow product brought to you with more Witchblade goodness, I think.
Moving on to DC Comics, we have issue 2 of Penguin, Pain and Prejudice. Issue number 2 of The Huntress, with art from our friend Marcus Toe. Issue number 1 was great and shows all the reasons why Marcus should have a bigger title over at DC. We hope the editors over there give him a big book once he's done this. Moving on to the number 3s from the New 52, we've got Mr. Terrific issue 3. Here's Frankenstein, Agent of Shade issue 3. Demon Knights issue 3. Resurrection Man number 3. Marvin, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
We're showing all these DC relaunch books.
Mm-hmm.
What's been your favorite DC book coming out of the relaunch?
I've been really enjoying the Snyder, Greg Capullo Batman. Justice League is beautiful because it's Jim Lee and Jeff Johns.
Right.
Aquaman has been great. Green Lantern is, like I said, Jeff Johns hit home run. Can't complain about it at all. Yeah, so far, yeah.
Sounds like you want to work for DC. You're giving out a lot of compliments here.
Well, I can't complain when you put the right creative teams together and it works and everything works. It's a great. I can't complain.
All right.
But Marvel rules. Bring back Wally West.
Batwoman issue 3. The ongoing adventures of Barbara Gordon. Here with Batgirl issue 3, and this issue features Nightwing. Legion Lost issue 3. Here's Deathstroke issue 3. Grifter issue 3. Marvin, did you ever read Grifter at all?
When it's still being published at Wildstorm, yeah, I was a big fan of Grifter. And the Wildcats as well.
Why wouldn't you be reading Grifter now?
For me as a reader, I follow a lot of artists around, and sadly, not to say anything bad of the artist here, I'm just not a personal fan of the work. I was spoiled because I grew up reading Jim Lee and Travis Charest on the books. So.
Suicide Squad issue 3. Here's Superboy issue 3, and speaking of a book that Marcus Toe could work on in the future, Marcus revealed some of his sample pages for ideas he had for the Superboy character online just a little while ago, and the pages looked amazing. This is a book that I think Marcus would do really well on. Batman and Robin issue 3, and here's Green Lantern issue 3. Now, Marvin, you mentioned Green Lantern is one of the books that you're currently reading. Are you enjoying the storyline right now?
Dude.
Where it's at?
Anytime you have a story where Sinestro has his green ring back and Hal doesn't have his,
right?
It is just like, you're like, tables have turned. Hal is not in the control seat. Very interesting where it's going to go. I have no clue at this point. It's fun read, great enjoyment.
I think Jeff Johns has done a lot of great things with the character Sinestro over the last 5 years or so. And he's built him up to this point where he's almost like, his awesomeness is almost more than that of Hal Jordan. And anytime I see him, with an upper hand over Hal, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it's about time, right? Hal's had the adventure for a long time now.
And here's the Green Lantern variant with art by Ethan Van Sciver. Here's Black Panther, the Most Dangerous Man Alive, issue 625, with just an awesome cover by Francesco Franciavelli. Avengers Origin Vision. This is a one-shot. Ghost Rider, issue 5. Punisher Max, issue 19. Battle Scars, issue 1 of 6. Don't know much about this book. I'm going to guess that it has something to do with scars obtained during some sort of battle. Journey into Mystery, issue 631. X-Men Legacy, issue 258. Wolverine, issue 18, part of the Regenesis storyline. Uncanny X-Force, issue 17, which is part 7 of the Dark Angel saga. What are your thoughts on X-Force so far?
Well, actually, one of my favorite reads, actually.
Really?
Top of my pile, actually. Beautiful artwork, compelling storyline, because Angel just pretty much takes the spot of Apocalypse now and is on the verge of destroying the world, and X-Force is the only thing stopping him from reaching it.
So they've said that one member of the X-Force team is going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think that's going to be?
Phantom X. He doesn't have his own book.
Ah.
It's not like I killed Deadpool.
So it's a financial decision from Marvel more than anything.
Well, he's the one they could lose and not have to worry about it, because killing Deadpool makes no financial sense.
New Avengers issue 18 sees the return, it looks like, of the Dark Avengers and Norman Osborn. Fear Itself 7.2 Thor deals with the fallout of what occurred to Thor during the Fear Itself series.
Thor dies!
Here's the Fear Itself 7.2 variant. Marvel's been really pushing this book, and it finally sees its release today. It's .1. It's packed with several stories from different artist and writer teams, and lays the foundation for the Marvel Universe in 2012. This is the first cover here, and it's by Adam Kubert. And we've got a wrap cover variant here by Nick Bradshaw. And here is the variant version of that Nick Bradshaw cover. There's a couple of big stories that get their start in this book, one of them being the return of Phoenix, and second, the return of the Scarlet Spider. And the big book coming out today from Marvel is Avenging Spider-Man issue 1 by Joe Madureira. And this is the regular cover with Joe Madureira's art. It's polybagged, and it's got a download code inside for a digital version of the comic. Here is the blank cover variant, which you can have sketched on by your favorite artist. We're going to get another look at this cover in just a few moments when we talk about our contests. Here's the Humberto Ramos 1 in 15 variant. And here is a 1 in 50 Joe Quesada variant. Marvin, you had the chance to flip through Avenging Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of it?
Beautiful Joe Mad art. I love it. It's a fun-filled issue. It plays to all Joe's strength. It's just a lot of cool action scenes. It's very funny.
What's your favorite all-time Joe Mad work?
Personally, it's probably either Uncanny X-Men issue 346, which is
specific.
Which is pretty much Marrow and Spider-Man, because Joe is pretty much born to draw Spider-Man. It's beautiful stuff. Or it's Battle Chasers.
Battle Chasers,
which
nice.
which pretty much is the pinnacle of his career at that point. Yeah. Joe, I want to draw Battle Chasers, please.
All right, now let's get to the contests. Last week, I wanted you guys to tell me what you would pick as your mutant power, if you could only choose one power. A lot of great answers once again, but unfortunately, as always, we can only choose one. So the winner is YouTube user John Fell, whose answer was, my mutant power would be meat vision. I mean, who doesn't like meat? Steak all day, and plus, I can end world hunger. Except for all those vegetarians out there, I guess they're just going to have to starve to death. Sorry, vegans. Meat vision would be cool, but I know Rob has an entirely different version of what his meat vision would be like, if you know what I'm saying. Congratulations to John Fell. That's an awesome mutant power. You just shoot meat out of your eyes. Like, that would be amazing.
Pork chops.
Beef Wellington.
Yeah.
Okay, for this week's contest, we're going to give away one of these custom Avenging Spider-Man blank cover variants, sketched on by Mr. Marvin Law himself. It's actually a wrap cover. What we want you to do for this contest is imagine you have spidey senses. What are your spidey senses telling us about this face that Marvin's making? The most creative answer in the comments below will win this sketch cover prize.
Can't wait to see your answers.
You've managed to make a career for yourself out of doing freelance art and working the independent art circuit.
Yep.
Do you have any advice for any up-and-coming artists out there as to...
Yeah, lots. Just in terms of going out, promote yourself, because the best promoter of your work is going to be yourself, no matter what happens. Hit the con circuit, show your stuff online, widen your range of networking, just get your name out there as best as possible, positively, hopefully. And yeah, just keep trying, keep working hard, and just never give up.
That's interesting because you've never actually worked for one of the major publishers,
nope.
But you've managed to make a living out of your passion.
Mm-hmm.
So it is possible to do. And you don't have to work for DC or Marvel to make it happen. Earlier today, you were doing some sketches at our store, and a customer had a really odd request.
Yes.
To do tattoo sleeves on their Dr. Manhattan HeroClix.
Yes.
Actually, from my standpoint, it ended up being really, really cool, and the finished product was very nice. What's the weirdest request you've ever had as a freelance artist?
I've had a few weird ones here and there, but I think the weirdest one was... mind you, that Dr. Manhattan one does stand up there. It's probably the top 5 now. But the weirdest one I ever had asked was, someone asked, can you draw a young girl in bondage covered in white glue, which I had to turn down because I wasn't comfortable drawing it.
White glue?
Yes, white glue. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just leave it there. Just leave it at that. All right, everybody, that is it for this week. Thank you once again for watching. I want to thank Marvin Law for stopping by today. You can check out his DeviantArt page at marvin000.deviantart.com. Don't forget to watch Ricky and the gang from Flavorful Sauce doing their reviews on our channel each and every week. And don't forget you can interact with us on any of the websites you see listed here on your screen. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you all next week for episode 55. Take care, everyone, and enjoy your comics.